women masturbate? What's going on here?
Of course, yeah, me and Carmen are the only ones.
We're
Actually,
the only
we were
ones.
backstage before the show.
But the fact is, more men admit it. More men talk about it, especially these days. I mean, Adam is at the leading edge of a trend, obviously.
Yeah. I like to think of myself as a pioneer in masturbatory discussions. Thank you for that, Drew. Perhaps someday there'll be a statue erected to my penis in some town square.
Right.
Not to scale, naturally.
Let's go to the calls.
All right. RJ and Rick.
How's it going?
Good.
I live with 5 guys, and we all went to college together, so we're all pretty good friends. And it seems like every night or every other night we'll be watching a porno or something, and somebody will start passing out blankets, and we all masturbate together. We're completely heterosexual. 2 of us have been engaged, and we all have girlfriends at the time, but for some reason it just seems to happen about every night. Are we sick and wrong? And if we're not, maybe Adam wants to move in.
Well, first I have to say I am left-handed, and it's like when you sit in a diner booth. You'd have to hook up with someone who's also left-handed, otherwise you guys would be smacking elbows all night. You know, I mean, it's just very tight in there. Are you nuts? I'm not moving in there. It's like some kind of Gallagher concert going on in that living room of yours. You have to wear a slicker and galoshes just to make it into the kitchen. Please, I'm indignant that you'd ask that. Drew?
What?
Is there anything wrong with the circle jerk, as they call it?
It's bizarre, but, you know, I mean,
What? Oh, come on, don't tell me you didn't pull off a few of those in college.
No.
Not even in med school?
No.
No. All right, you guys need to chip in and get yourselves another VCR, please.
Right.
That's what's going on.
One for each of them.
All right, Bob on the LoveLine phone.
Hi. My question is sort of weird. It's like, with every woman I've been with, I can like never get full penetration because of the size of my penis. And it's sort of bothering me because I thought bigger was always better, but it's like I'm not getting the full enjoyment of intercourse because, like, I can't get it all the way in. And I was wanting to know if there's something I can do to, like, the female or me to, you know, get better penetration.
Running start. Oh, don't applaud that, you sickos. In most cases, I would assume the guy was lying and just bragging about his genitalia, but Bob's got a voice. I mean, he sounds like he's got like Darth Vader down there. I believe it.
Yeah, this is you know, speaks to the issue of how much men preoccupy about this. Every man's concerned about the size of his penis.
Well, if it holds you back from having sex.
But that's the point, is that most women find too big, even moderately large, uncomfortable. It's not something that men should...
Go, Drew.
Well, it's not something that men should... Chris, am I right? I mean, it's not something that men should aspire to on behalf of women, because women could really not care about that for the most part.
Are you using lots of lubrication?
Yeah, I have before, but it's like it still doesn't help. I basically want to get deeper, and it's hard to. I've scared women away like that.
Well, yeah, absolutely, you would scare the woman away. I think what you need to do is you need to let her be on top and use lots of lubrication, because when a woman's on top, she has more control of the situation, and you know, so that way you don't hurt her.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
All right.
Okay.
Bob?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, well, some blessing and a curse to poor Bob. There should be some sort of extra peni donor plan or something out there where nothing like that exists. Yeah,
penis reduction, kind of like
who
women
had,
have breast reductions?
There is
share
such a
the
thing,
wealth,
but
is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think this would be done without a medical problem. So.
Is there any? You'd really have to do. Have you heard of this procedure?
I've heard of things like that, but again, not unless there's a medical reason for it.
Like what?
Like Peyronie's or tumor and things like that.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm cool. Kathy, on the LoveLine phone.
Yeah. Kathy?
Hello. Oh, well, I've always thought that it was hard to, or it was impossible to urinate and climax at the same time. But the past few times that I've been on top and have reached orgasm, I've climaxed. I mean, I've peed on my boyfriend, and I didn't even realize it until afterwards, and he was like, "You just cheated on me," and I was just wondering, is this a medical problem, or is it normal, or what might cause it?
He's very astute, this boyfriend of yours. And vocal. All right, this is a syndrome, is it not, Drew?
Yeah, it is.
And we will discuss it after the break, Kathy. All right, back with the beautiful Carmen Electra, who's the new co-host on Singled Out, 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. What station's that on, Drew?
What's that one again? Music television.
No, what is
Yes, all right. You're very hip, Drew. All right, now when we left off, we're speaking to Kathy on the phone. Has a little, I've picked up a few things from working with Drew closely. Some medical terminology, crabs and ringworm. But one of the things I've picked up is female orgasmic incontinence.
Right, and that's what Kathy's got. And Kathy, it's not entirely normal, but it's not really a medical problem. It's embarrassing, and it's something women find obviously uncomfortable and difficult to cope with sometimes, but it is not anything wrong with you. And if your boyfriend is accepting and
Oh, wait a
caring,
minute. There is something wrong with her.
Well, is there any way to control it?
probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, he's leery about performing oral sex on me sometimes because he doesn't know and I don't know what's going to happen, you know?
Well,
Can you get him to sign some sort of release or something in case the unthinkable happens?
I don't know.
Okay.
well, look, you guys have to work together on this. There probably, I'm not aware of any medication, but there's certainly medications that restrict urinary outflow. But I would hate to see somebody take medication for this. I just don't think it's appropriate.
What if she used the restroom before? Would that help?
I've tried that.
And you know, I
Don't
can't
drink
say this,
anything
But
all
but
day?
men certainly emit things to women, and they have to take that, tolerate that, and I'm sure your boyfriend.
Yeah, but God planned it that way. That's the seed. She is the soil. Do you understand, Drew?
I understand.
No,
but
you don't have to water the seed with urine.
I bet, Kathy, I bet your boyfriend will be okay with this if you keep talking about it, and if you are at least concerned about how this affects him, and I'm sure it'll work out fine. Okay?
All right?
Thank you.
Shop goggles and a shot of courage is what I would say. But Drew,
Yeah.
I'm sorry your delicate ears have to hear this, by the way, Carmen, but this female orgasmic continence thing,
Incontinence.
whatever it is running rampant.
Well, people are
what it is.
no,
We
people are
hear
starting
about
to
it all
talk
the
about
time
it.
now.
Yeah. I mean, women have had this problem for a long time, but
All
just
right.
they haven't been able to talk about it.
First, I will dub this a medical condition.
All right, fine.
Because you are doing something that you don't want to do. If I uncontrollably made gas every time I was at a dinner party, that would be a condition.
But not a medical condition.
Yes,
not
yes,
in
you would say,
medically-
here, take this.
No, not a
oh,
medically-
please.
no.
Wait, invite me over for dinner then and pull my finger. You know you would.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, it's got to be. It's not medically relevant. That's the
You
point.
are not in control of your bladder during sex. This is a problem.
It's a problem.
All right, so shouldn't you guys be working on solving
Perhaps.
this?
Perhaps that's true. And
Okay.
I'm sure somebody is, in fact, but I'm not aware of what treatments are being offered.
Well, put a fire under them, would you? We got to get this wrapped up. Beth.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Drew. What's up?
Hey.
Okay, well, I have a pretty outgoing, flirtatious personality, which is sort of good for me because I work in retail. And, but sometimes the way I act, it, gets me in bad situations, and I come across slutty. Customers come back and ask me out and stuff. And the most recent thing that happened was my stock manager at work took my flirting, too seriously, and we're involved, and we wound up sleeping together, and now we have sex occasionally. But he has a girlfriend and 2 kids. And it's I don't know how to change the way I act. It's subconscious. I don't know I'm flirting, and I don't know what I should do about
But
it.
Beth, it's more than flirting, though, isn't it? I mean, it's a way of being provocative, and then you're unable to keep yourself from getting involved. You eventually get into these relationships, too. You don't just flirt.
Well, yeah, that's why I can't keep a steady boyfriend, because I think I'm just having a friendship with the guy, but they see it as I'm flirting with them, and they don't like it, and it's I don't know how to change it.
This is actually a pretty complicated question. You have any advice for her, Carmen?
I mean, what are you saying to these men that are you leading them on in some kind of way, or are you just being extra nice?
I mean, I just see it as I'm being friendly, but people tell me, they're like, oh my God, why are you flirting with him? And it's like, I don't even realize it.
Beth, how's your self-worth? How do you feel about yourself?
I mean, I'm really confident, and I've always been outgoing, even when I was younger, and...
But how do you feel about yourself, fundamentally? I mean, do you feel good about yourself, or you feel kind of empty inside?
I mean, I feel pretty... I mean, I don't have any, like, thing that really bad happened and made me have, like, bad self-esteem or anything. I mean, I feel fundamentally pretty good about myself.
But here's what I think Drew's getting at, is that you need to be propped up a little bit, or validated by these guys. That you're not interested in them, but you need to know that they're interested in you, so that you can feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
She needs the attention.
Exactly.
That's where this is coming from.
And she gets into these relationships, gets attached, the boundaries are poor, and the guys move the relationship along, and she can't stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
She really doesn't want to be in the relationship. She just wants the attention.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I do like the attention.
All right, so if you want to stop flirting, you have to start looking into whatever it is that's inside of you that's causing you to long for the attention, which has nothing to do with sexuality. It just manifests itself in sexuality.
Right. I mean, you know, you've actually said you had trouble being alone when you were younger. That it's a very painful thing to be alone sometimes. Do you have trouble being alone, Beth?
Without, like...
Without anybody. Just alone with Beth.
Yeah, sometimes I do. It's like, I always like to have some more around.
So
I've never, like, been a loner. I've always had a lot of friends, and, like, all my friends are guys, always.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on here. You're 19. You may work this out as you get older, but really start to focus on, this is very simplistic advice, and this is a much more complicated question, potentially, than the advice I'm giving you, but start focusing on Beth. Take care of Beth. Find things that nurture Beth, whether it's going to a play or music or finding some girlfriends. Develop yourself in other ways, so you have other ways of making yourself feel better, soothing yourself, maybe even building your self-worth, and then you will not, God willing, be so apt to get into these enmeshed relationships that make you feel even worse about yourself, okay?
All right, Beth. All right.
Carmen had brought up an issue tonight that I thought was kind of important. I wanted to give her an opportunity to talk a little bit more about it, and that was the whole issue of breast implant, both augmentation and also breast reduction surgeries. And we get a lot of calls about this sort of thing, and we rarely have an opportunity to discuss it with somebody who's been through this. And how did you decide what procedure to do? What were the circumstances
Well,
under which?
first of all, you know, I went to a doctor, to the gynecologist, and they did do a breast exam, and they did not find the lump. I found it on my own. So I think it's important for women to actually find them, you know, and
so
look.
Understand how to do breast
Understand how to
testing.
do it properly. You know, so that you can take care of yourself and then take it from there. I mean, I wouldn't suggest to run out and get breast implants. You know, I mean, of course, that is your own decision, but you do have to think about the risks.
How do you decide who the surgeon was and what the different sort of approaches to this? How did you make that
By
determination?
asking around and asking friends that have had the surgery. I asked a million questions. Don't be afraid to ask.
I'll sometimes
Never
go
hurts.
in there and look at some of the catalogs, before and after pictures.
The plastic surgeon's books?
Yeah, just to, you know, get to narrow down who's doing competent work.
I just want to thank, excuse me, I just want to thank Carmen for bringing this up, because this is a question we
You
have.
brought it up.
Well, for being honest about
Oh, okay.
her procedure, I think it's something that is relatively common in our society. It's a reasonable procedure. You had a medical problem that would have been disfiguring had you not had something done.
Yes.
And women have this option out there if it's something they want to do. It's, as we've stated already, it's not something they should be doing for other people.
It is very painful. Very, very painful.
And it carries potential dangers, and there are potential complications, and sometimes they have to be redone. But if it's something that someone has decided to do, there's a lot of competent plastic surgeons out there who do good work. So.
God bless them, I say. Let's all raise a glass of them tonight while we eat. All right. Drew, you done with that?
I'm done.
Carmen, done with the breasts?
Yes.
All right.
Done.
They look beautiful. The man did wonderful work.
Thank you.
All right. Carmen Electra, everybody. Singled out, 7 p.m., Monday through Friday on the fabulous MTV. And we'd like to give our thanks to the lovely Chris McGaha. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.